I'm very happy to be here today with my colleague and good friend, Caroline Zalka. Caroline is not only an amazing partner in our litigation department, but is also head of our securities litigation practice and a member of our firm's management committee. Thank you for joining me today, Caroline.
Well, thank you for the very generous introduction, Barry.
Well deserved, well deserved. I'd like to start by having you talk a little bit about your practice. When did you first know that you wanted to be a litigator? And what is it about the practice and client base in securities litigation that's kept you engaged and excited?
So I'm in securities litigation and I've been doing it for quite a long time now. I think that I first knew I wanted to be a litigator when I actually started litigating. I was not someone who had kind of a sense from very early on that I wanted to do corporate or do litigation and that was my only path. But when I started litigating, I absolutely loved it and just had kind of confirmed how I enjoy the practice. And that's continued through this day. I would say one of the things that I really enjoy about it is you get to work very closely with clients, right, in a litigation setting. You understand their business, you're working with the kind of most senior people within the business, and you get to do it in a lot of different industries because litigation hits all different clients and all different sectors. So I think that's kept me kind of energized through today.
Well, that's wonderful. Is there a particular development or industry trend that's happening right now that you're navigating with your clients?
So I would say AI-related securities litigation. It's increased exponentially over the last several years, I think consistent with the kind of rise of AI generally, both in kind of industry and society. And so there's an increased, I would say, regulatory focus and litigation focus on AI-related disclosures. So trying to be proactive about managing those disclosures and that litigation risk in a fairly kind of, unprecedented area, actually.
Yes, it's clearly unprecedented in so many different respects. We're dealing with it ourselves,
Yeah.
not on the litigation front, but just on the planning front.
Yeah.
Well, your command and passion for what you do is certainly very clear. Now, you've had a successful practice, and that's, for many people, that's enough. Within the last few years, you've also added 2 different management roles to your plate, as both the securities litigation head and as a member of the management committee. What inspired you to take on more, and how do you balance it all?
I don't know that I balance it all, but I can certainly answer the first question. I love the firm and I love the people that I work with. I really enjoy it. It's one of the things, the people that I work with is one of the reasons I like coming to work every day. And so taking advantage of the opportunity to help lead and kind of manage and execute on a strategy was really kind of why I was really excited to take on those leadership opportunities. And it's kind of proven out in terms of the ability to contribute back.
And I'll answer the second half of that, which is I don't know how you do it, but I know you do it very well.
I don't know about that. Well, I like to think I appear outwardly like I'm doing it very well, certainly.
Well, you clearly do, and that's the impression we all have, and I am positive that you are balancing all of those professional and personal things in an excellent way.
Thank you.
As you've progressed into leadership, what has surprised you the most about practice management and the overall global business strategy at the firm?
So I'm not sure I would say it's surprise. I think what struck me is the level of collaboration across the departments, because as you start to get a different vantage point, I think kind of as a member of the management committee or as a practice group leader, you start to see more and more how kind of the strategy is executed across departments between senior leaders of the firm and how that goes down to kind of the client relationship. So that's something that struck me in terms of the strategy across kind of how clients fit into the various different client sectors.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point because in discussions with a lot of potential laterals, we don't have any of that competition that goes on between departments. We have a lot of collaboration and help of one another. It's a nice part of what has been built. In terms of being a leader, how would you describe your leadership style?
Good question. I'm a communicator, I would say. I think I like listening to people. I like understanding kind of what people's, I think, desires are, what their concerns are, what their issues may be, what they want to execute on, and then helping kind of them execute on that. I think similarly, I think when there are leadership decisions that get made, communicating those effectively. So I think just kind of both up and down across, I would say I'm a communicator. I think that good things happen when people are communicating effectively.
Well, those are many of the same sort of principles I've tried to follow as a leader. I'd like to sort of round out today's conversation by asking you something a little bit more open-ended.
Ominous question.
Who is a leader outside of the legal industry that you admire and why?
So I would say Roger Federer is someone that I have come to deeply admire. I think that in general, when you kind of see him play tennis, you kind of think he's incredibly gracious. He's well respected among his peers. He's obviously a raging success by any measure.
Yes.
And I was struck by there was a commencement address that he did at Dartmouth. And he said that, so he won 80% of the matches that he played, which is a phenomenal statistic. And yet he only won 54% of the points. And so, which is basically 50-50, right? And so the resilience that it takes to come back after losing a point and recognizing that you can still kind of win the battle and win the match, the kind of grit that it takes to stay in the match, even if you're losing almost 50% of the time, that leads to that kind of win rate. And also being really well respected amongst his peers for his sportsmanship, collegiality. To me, he's someone that,
That kind of says it all.
it kind of says it all. And from a litigation kind of perspective, those all translate, right?
Right.
So
now we're going to have some fun.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you in sort of in a lightning round of questions, a series of questions, and the answer that comes to your mind, just shoot it right back.
Do you have to answer these as well? Okay.
I'm happy to.
Okay.
I'm happy to. How do you like to start each day?
With coffee.
Okay. What's your favorite snack?
And nuts. Any kind of nut.
What's your go-to health and wellness activity?
Walking, any kind of exercise, spinning, generally just physical activity.
What's the last movie you watched on a plane?
I do not know. I have a 3-year-old, so I don't watch movies on plane. And if I'm traveling for work, I'm working. I actually can't remember.
What was your favorite subject in high school?
English or classics.
Okay. What's your peak time of the day?
6 a.m.
Join the club.
Without a doubt.
Join the club. Name a habit or attribute that drives your friends and loved ones crazy.
I don't remember things. I have a bad memory when it comes to my personal life. It means I don't hold grudges, but I just generally don't have a very good memory for past events.
But not holding grudges is actually a
Exactly.
good attribute.
So I turned the thing that drives them crazy into a positive, like
Yes.
any good litigator.
Yes. What's the last TV show that you binge watched?
I think it was called Unbroken, Untamed. It was on Netflix. It was very good.
Okay. Name an upcoming vacation or trip you're looking forward to.
I am going to Portugal.
And how about playing golf with your dad again?
I know, I knew you were going to raise that. I am planning to play golf with my father in Portugal, who lives there.
Terrific. What word would an associate on one of your matters use to describe you?
Confident.
Well, that was fun. And I want to thank you for doing this. It's a pleasure doing this. I know it would be fun and it would go well. So thank you for coming and doing this.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been great.